Vanessa's talking.
Here with me now are Gustavo and Indy. If you have seen the YouTube channel of Sister Unity, you may have seen the video in which they got married on June 17th, 2008, the first day that gay marriage was legal in the state of California.
It's true, I married him.
Please pardon the non-traditional news format of the framing. Proof once again that I am a Muppet. Gustavo, can you describe the mood of the people that you saw at the protests?
Oh, well, it was awesome. The energy, everybody was shouting non-stop, really loud, and it's something really interesting I saw there that we actually started on San Vicente and Santa Monica. We woke up to Sunset Boulevard, went down to Crescent Heights, and every single place we were walking by, people were stepping out of their homes to show support. There was a lot of straight people, straight families stepping out of their places and clapping at the crowd walking down the street. Another thing, every single business on Sunset, on the really fancy area, people were standing on their tables and clapping.
Yeah.
People, the staff from the restaurants and from anywhere was stepping outside. We stopped traffic, and traffic didn't care. Traffic was cheering with us.
Yep.
Nobody seemed to be upset. Nobody was, complaining about the wait.
Yeah, we had
they
a police
care.
presence there to keep us safe and just drive along us slowly, making sure that we were okay. When we got a little too far on the other side of oncoming traffic, they were telling us, please move for your safety. They were supportive, and just a great positive presence. I really thank the West Hollywood and Greater LA Police Department for their support.
I want to ask you guys, are you willing to march in the same way in neighborhoods that are not necessarily as used to the gay presence? For example, in San Bernardino, in the Crenshaw district, in heavily Latino or heavily conservative or heavily black neighborhoods. So it seems to me that clearly we need to introduce ourselves and introduce couples from our community to these communities who may be less familiar with it. Are you willing to go into strange and perhaps unfriendly places?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's extremely important, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been to gay bars, I've been to my gay neighborhoods, and it's wonderful to feel all of us in the community get together to support each other, but we're not really changing anyone's opinion because it's our neighborhoods. And when you go out to your surrounding neighborhoods that aren't yours, it's the best place to get exposure from people who aren't informed. Maybe they don't know any gay people, and they can finally see us. They've been lied to. You can set them straight on the record of what the facts are, and get your message heard in person. They can come up to you. They might be angry and argue, and you just gotta stand your ground and calmly express why you're there and why you're informing them, and maybe they'll listen.
Have you two, that you are aware of since you were married last June 17th, has your marriage affected any straight marriages in any way? Or have you felt that your marriages had an effect, particularly a negative effect, on the fabric of society at its core?
So dramatic. But I love it.
Yeah, no.
I'd say I have not personally noticed a negative effect on society. We've stimulated the economy by spending a lot of money for the wedding, but it's always worth it, of course. Positively, I think our friends and our family are very supportive of our decision to be together in this way. Other people from our extended family may have been a bit apprehensive, but they showed up anyway to support us. I was actually surprised that certain people of my family showed up. I mean, all the way from Missouri. But support. I haven't noticed anything negative.
Gustavo, have you noticed that since Tuesday, when the rights for gay marriage were eliminated by a vote of a slim majority, have you noticed an effect on your marriage?
Well, it did affect it. It did. especially him.
In what way?
He was really depressed. He was really dramatic about it. I am the one that I told him, you know, nothing in this country is being given to people just for the simple reason of giving them to them. Everything needs a fight. And I saw it coming, you know, at some point, you know, I was expecting the best, but I was ready for the worst. And all I told him, you know, this is going to empower people, seeing the close margin on the 2% against them, you know, the people that both know. And it was really empowering for everybody to see, you know, we were like this close to actually make it. We were like 2% or 2.5%.
Yeah, and when people that support 8 say that, you know, the people have spoken, it's not like it was a landslide. Yeah, come in, sit down. But they act like the people have spoken. And when they say that, it's, you know, both sides spoke. You can't just deny one group not speaking. We both voted. Both sides voted. And the margin was just, for crying out loud, I mean, 3% difference.
Not even.
So, do you feel that you are any less married?
No.
Oh, no.
We have received, to be clear, we are still married. We have received no letter from the state secretary annulling our marriage. And as far as we understand, since Prop 8 has passed, that you can't go backwards to marriages that have already been issued. Sure, they've stopped issuing marriage licenses at City Hall.
Today, I think.
Today, I'm sure San Francisco will keep doing it until someone comes up and, you know, stops them physically or whatever. But, I lost my train of thought.
Well, let me ask you this. If the law in some way did take away the legality of your being married and the recognition by the state, would you be less married? Would you not be married anymore?
Spiritually, of course not. They never can touch that. But it's a nice feeling to be accepted, and it's peace of mind to know that if either of us ever get physically harmed and end up in a hospital, I'm sure everyone always would like to be able to say, I'm his husband. We're a couple. I'm his family. I get the right to go see him. Without that,
decisions.
They say, you're nobody.
And why do you use the word marriage?
Because if you just look at the definition of the word marriage, I mean, everyone's really tossing it around a lot, but marriage is the marriage, the combining of two making one. I mean, from any religion, anywhere. I mean, you can use the word marriage to mean companies are marrying, marriage, or combining. You know, they're whatever. So I think the word marriage is just an extremely broad term to define combination, combine two to one.
Well, basically, you just want to be the same.
Yeah.
You don't want to be excluded. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, this is just this. No, you just want to be part of it. It's what you grew into it. It's like your mom and your dad were married. You want the same for you. It doesn't matter who you're married to.
And the Yes Only supporters saying that, you know, they can't stand it being called marriage. They wish it was being called something else. I don't believe that. If it was called something else, if we came up with some word like, we're going to salamander each other. And that means, you know, that gets gay people marriage to make you understand if you haven't heard the salamander term. So, we're salamandered.
Yeah.
And they'll probably figure out some way to not like that either. They'll figure out a way. I mean, they'll go through their text and they'll find something.
And the rights won't be the same.
It was here on the day of
was...
Job. The salamander was evil in the eyes of the people and the God. You know.
Somewhere in the Bible says something.
But you know, if they try to, if anybody tries to annul my marriage, even after 8 is passed, I mean, there'll be 18,000 lawsuits. I know, you like that.
Gustavo and Indy, thank you so much for talking with us. Thank you so much for your commitment to each other and to the cause for the sake of others.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.